This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started.
Hey everybody, it's me, Charlie, the Professor Esser, bringing you once again Super Connectivity, the only show that connects things superbly for you. And with me tonight is, of course, the man who makes it all possible, the bashful, blue-eyed bruiser of Pittsburgh himself.
It's clobbering time. It's Phil and Perich.
There you are. Welcome, Philip. So glad to have you. Okay, I've got some crazy fan theories that I want to go into this week.
No.
Yes. Well, hey, you know what? That's what I came for. That's what I like to do.
That's
honestly.
Butts in the seats.
Well, I hope so. I hope people like to hear my crazed fan theories. You know, none have yet to come true. Although I do got to say, mark my words on my Gus Gorman is Leviathan prediction. I got a feeling, man, unless there's been something in the comics to make you go, oh, no, that couldn't possibly be Gus Gorman, you know?
I was going to say, he hasn't shown up yet, so wouldn't that be weird to make this mystery character someone who hasn't shown up yet? But it is Bendis, you know, remember Tony Stark?
Well, yeah, and the fact of the matter is, well, sure, why wouldn't that make sense, you know?
Yeah.
And there's all these things to throw you off, like, oh, he's wearing a red hood. Is it Jason Todd? No, it's not Jason Todd.
No.
Don't be stupid. You know, first off, that'd make it super, super obvious to the point where why is he even wearing a mask then? You know?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the other option would be, oh, it's the Joker because he was the Red Hood at one point or something. But no, I think my honest opinion is that it's got to be Gus Gorman using the knowledge he has gained from his supercomputer magic computery skills. And, you know, turns out the password was password 1. They thought they were secure because they used both numbers and letters. But he figured it out. Okay. Yeah, so mark my words, Gus Gorman is Leviathan. And something else to mark my words on over in the Marvel Universe is, first off, this was something that was inspired by a good friend of the show, Chantel Jones. I forget the name of her podcast. Sorry, Chantel. I know she does a lot of D&D stuff. But she is awesome, and we love her, and I love everything she posts. But she had made this point, you know, she does not want Spider-Man to be the new Tony Stark. So why can't he just be Peter Parker? And it got me thinking, now, you know, my fan theory about the suits, that he's making these suits that are essentially, you know, these techno-organic suits made from molecules up with all kinds of crazy AI that may go rogue, that may cause problems. And it makes me think, what if that is something that occurs? And that is why at the end of this, Peter will not have these crazy AI suits anymore. He's just going to have straight up regular cloth suits. Because he has to get rid of all these AI suits because they've become too dangerous. He has to go back to being old school. Maybe even Aunt May helps make him a suit.
Maybe, but even if he is like the inventor of the Marvel Universe, you know, the MCU going forward, he's not going to be exactly like Tony Stark, because Tony Stark was born in the money and, you know, basically had his ego fed. You know, Peter Parker, you know, grew up, you know, basically without parents and, you know, very humble origins, you know.
Yeah, but I know that, and myself included, a lot of fans have not liked the hyper-tech suits. Now, granted, in the comics, I don't know if he's got like heads-up displays in his goggles or not anymore. No, he doesn't. He's back to old school. Yeah. So yeah, that's an auto thing, you know. That's the thing. And, like, really, that Spider-Man looks a lot more like Superior Spider-Man than it does the which of course had people saying, "Oh man, is Tony Stark going to try and overwrite his brainwaves onto Peter's brain, make it a real superior Spider-Man?" Yeah. Hey, Tony Stark AI, man, don't trust it. I'm just telling you right now. Like, oh, it's got all the brilliance of Tony, but without any of those human emotions or compassion. That's a brilliant idea. So yeah, so my theory is that by the end of this, he's going to get rid of all of his high-tech suits. That the high-tech suits are going to cause a problem. In fact, that may even be if we're going to go with a chameleon theory, that's actually the chameleon, not Nick Fury. Then you create this idea that maybe they're trying to get this tech or get someone who knows this tech and are going to basically steal his techno-organic suits that he's developed, with the AI, so that they can, reverse engineer to them and make their own super things. That's one fan theory I have. And what do you think of that? So let's just start with that one, Phil. What do you think about the possibility that Peter gets rid of all this high-tech stuff, goes back to being just old school Spider-Man by the end of Far From Home?
I mean, I could see it. I would like it because, I don't know, I haven't really been into the high tech suits. I like it when it's just him building his own stuff. I appreciate Tony Stark was trying to help him, but I like it when Peter's basically just building stuff on his own. It shows his intellect more than just hey, this is Tony Stark stuff.
Yeah. Well, he's still going to be building these suits on his own, and that's what we're seeing. But I think having them go horribly awry kind of might feed into this idea that he shouldn't be going so high tech with these things.
And I just wonder if maybe too, since you brought it up, maybe another factor into that is maybe it's not truly a Tony Stark AI. Maybe Mysterio is trying to manipulate him, with this fake Tony Stark AI, maybe.
That's a possibility too, not for nothing. It's all that footage is out there, and Mysterio would be the kind of guy who could get access to it.
So then by the end of the movie, Peter figures out, I have to stand up and be my own. I can't be what I can't live in Tony Stark's shoe. I have to be my own hero, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. And, not be working with an AI all the time because too many voices in your head. And especially if the AI start causing problems for him, that's because I really think the AI is going to be a real issue. Because I think that's what really killed, that Tony made him a suit is less problematic. He's got a design team, he's got marketing people. It's less problematic than the fact that now it's actually technically an iron weave suit with an AI and a heads-up display and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's what people object to more than anything else.
I mean, it'd just be nice maybe if it's maybe Tony leaves him some money in his will, just for equipment and stuff, but then Peter decides to do it his own way and design stuff.
And that's what he may do. Maybe the end of it is him walking away from the lab and saying, I do need to focus on being a teenager as well as being a superhero kind of thing. Got to have work-life balance, man. And if nothing else, that's what Tony had taught us, got to have that work-life balance, man. You got to stop and smell the roses. Got to stop and smell the toeses. We love you 3000, Mr. Stark. But now the other question, which is, I think, one of the really big questions that we have in this homecoming, or in this Far From Home, is that, okay, the premise is that we've been given is that Mysterio is from another dimension, is a hero in his own universe, but he's now come to this universe to be a hero in the 616 universe.
Sure.
Okay. And there's lots of reasons for us to think that this is all a ruse, and that the monsters he's fighting are actually just, Sandman, Hydro Man, and Molten Man, being paid to take dives,
Yeah.
And what I think is a real possibility here is that is false, but the rips in the fabric of space-time aren't.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, the whole Mysterio thing and all the creatures are probably a big red herring thing, but yeah, there probably are actually rips. I mean, we had 3 snaps altogether.
Yes, exactly. And here's the thing about that. If you are going to be doing, holes poked in space-time that things can fall through, or more importantly, look through, is this going to set up the Beyonder?
Mm.
Because that's the idea. Like, yes, these rips happened, but it's one thing to think, oh, and all these heroes when we brought all the heroes back, that all these other people came back, or doppelgangers from other universes came in, yada yada yada. My question is, did it open a hole through which the Beyonder can peer through? And is this going to be leading to what is going to be our overarch in the next phase, which is going to be, and this is my big prediction, they're not going to do Secret Wars. They're going to combine Secret Wars and Secret Wars 2.
Mm.
So it's going to be the Beyonder coming to Earth. And so what you're going to maybe see is, you're going to see, like, maybe you see, like, after the big explosion, and then you're just going to see this little white light coming through, and maybe go around and peer back, so that you're in the void and you're looking into this universe, and maybe hear something like, interesting, or what is desire, like a Calvin Klein ad. And then maybe then we're going to get this thing about this being, he's observing the heroes, and not for nothing, if the snaps are what's opening this hole, seeing the humans, and then seeing the second snap bringing everybody back, and then all of the dimensions of space coming through, and people coming through and rushing in, seeing that battle, that's got to be intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
That's your Secret Wars right there.
Unless you were saying Secret Wars 1 and 2, unless they reverse it, and like for like a phase or even 2 phases, if they just have the Beyonder start showing up on Earth in different people's movies and interacting with different people, and eventually by the time we get to the Fantastic Four and X-Men, then we do get a Battle World and a Secret Wars. And it's like, I mean, if you pay people enough money, Beyonder can be pulling people from different time periods too. So I mean, you could have your Tony Starks on Battle World, or you could have Hugh Jackman. I don't think Hugh Jackman's coming back, but you could have your Hugh Jackman Wolverine. And
yeah, well, but he's getting old. It'd be old. He would really be Old Man Logan by that point.
You could have young Chris Evans, because Beyonder's just pulling people from different.
Oh yeah, well, that would actually be a great way to bring Chris Evans back into it, because it's like, I saw him so vividly, like Dr. Doom. He was so vivid in all of your minds. And he could bring back Thanos too.
Chris Evans as the Beyonder.
Oh,
because the Beyonder takes Captain America's form. Put Chris Evans in that wig, in the black curly wig.
I want to see him with a Jerry curl. Chris Evans with a Jerry curl. Yeah, you got to get that Captain EO look going, man. That would be fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I really want to see that. So watch for your kids, watch for Chris Evans at cameos.
He could be like the new Stan Lee, just like as the Beyonder popping up in different people's movies. 5-10 minutes. Yeah,
that would be wonderful. And maybe he'll even we'll have to see if somebody comes up to Peter and asks him about the discomfort in his lower abdomen. Oh, it's so famous.
But yeah, if they do Secret Worlds and Battle World, they have to wait for the Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be, another 4 or 5 arc movie thing. I mean, how many movies did we do until we finally got Thanos? You had to introduce all the Infinity Gauntlet. But the idea of having the Beyonder show up, I think that's a brilliant idea. I think it would be a really great way to tease something in Far From Home that you don't have to pay off for a long time.
Yeah.
Just like at the end of Avengers, where you get Thanos just saying smiling when it doesn't even say anything. They just say, to go to this world is to court death. It's like, ooh. And this was back when, hey, that's my motivation. I like that chick,
Yeah.
Thanos. But he sucks. But no, but it would really, really need to see how they do that, how they evolve it. And I would love to see, and again, that'd be a great reason for Chris Evans to just do smaller roles, pop up in the same way they used to have Robert Downey Jr. just pop up, periodically in other people's films for like, a little cameo scene, that kind of stuff. That would be awesome. And if he was watching the battle, then obviously he's going to be seeing Captain America. It's like, oh, that is the guy I want to be.
Yes.
That's the physical form I will take on this world, to understand this concept of desire.
Or they just like show him watching different, scenes from the different movies, and they see him watching Cap in World War II, and then like the first event, and be like, that is the form. Yeah.
Yes. Well, or however they do it, but it'll be very cool however they do it. What was I going to think about? What struck me that might have been, I was wondering about Cap and him coming back, and the idea being that he went back and had his life with Peggy.
Yeah.
But then, he grew old with Peggy, but then it said, oh, so he just sat by on the wayside while all this was happening. I was thinking, what if he didn't? What if he actually, because if he goes back to Peggy in the 40s, or maybe just after the 50s, after she's done with, what's his name? From the series, that's still like a good 20, 30, 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
Before they pull him out of the ice,
I mean, he could be running S.H.I.E.L.D. with her. I mean, she's just the public, figurehead. She's the public face.
Yeah, I don't know if Steve's the kind of guy who wants a desk job,
Yeah, but it's like if it means messing up the timeline, I could see him making that sacrifice. So.
Yeah. Well, we still don't know, but that was the idea that I was thinking, because they were saying maybe he did come, and that's why he's in the same timeline.
Yeah.
Because when they pulled him out of the ice, he went back to that timeline after he lived his life. So.
Plus, he's the guy who throws himself on the grenade for other people. He could see a desk job as, him throwing himself on the grenade for, not timeline.
Yeah, my hardest thing is just leaving Bucky with the Russians. That's just the hardest thing to wrap your head around, and then letting Hydra take hold in S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't know. I guess it's just the time travel thing where it's like it happened, so it has to happen.
Well, yeah, or it just happened in an alternate universe. But since we have the two people saying, it is an alternate universe, it's not an alternate universe. If you argue on the idea that every time you go back, it has to be an alternate universe, but then it's, well, then why is he on the bench? Why didn't he come back at the thing? And
I don't think they fully thought it through Charlie Esser. I think they just wanted to give him his happy ending. Thank you, brothers. You broke Charlie Esser. Thank you.
They don't. It takes a lot more than that to break Charlie Esser. Trust me.
Takes a lot. Takes a lot more beverage to break Charlie Esser.
Yes. Hey, this is just coffee today. Well, I got meetings later, so. Yes. Well, the guy's coming by to give an estimate on painting the apartment. I do not want my apartment painted, but my landlord wants the apartment painted. I'm like, oh, so that means we have to clean, and we are very cluttered people, as you may have seen if you watch us on YouTube. So it's a lot of, and it's not as clean as I wanted it to be by the time he got here. So I'm just going to say we're in the middle of decluttering and cleaning, doing that Marie Kondo. Does this bring us joy? Fortunately for Tristan, everything brings him joy. So,
yeah, can you paint a Stan Lee mural over here? Yeah.
Well, we'll be lucky we get one coat of off-white. It's. I'm not fighting for it, but So the Beyonder in the MCU, that's my big prediction. That's what we're getting next. I think we might get a Kang, we might get some other supervillains, but I think the big over arc for the next one is going to be leading to Secret Wars, because why wouldn't we?
Yeah, because it's like if you want another big universe-shattering figure like Thanos, who else are you going to go to?
I know you got Galactus, which you didn't have yet.
Yeah.
Or the Beyonder. And for what it's worth, the Galactus you kind of want to hold off. Actually, it's weird watching the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I'm wondering, are they trying to do Galactus without Galactus?
Mm-hmm.
Because they do say that the Strikes are serving something. The Strikes have a master. Now, who that master is, we don't know yet. What it is, but it certainly sounds like Galactus. I don't know of anyone else that's doing these things,
Yeah.
unless it's unless it's just Thanos, or maybe other acolytes of Thanos. Ooh, that'd be interesting if there's just other acolytes of Thanos that are just killing people, even after he got rid of half the universe. He's still, that's actually the hardest thing with the timelines, because they said that they averted the extinction level event for humans, and then they don't mention, of course, Thanos snapped away half of us. But
I mean, it's just, I was about to say, why would Galactus have acolytes? But it's like he does hand out that power cosmic like it's Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, well, exactly. And having him have a bunch of death strikes does not strike me as odd, that in this universe. I mean, it's sort of like when you had Cloud Galactus, It's like, well, I was thinking Galactus when they first had this, because when they show him and it's all the birds tearing the place apart,
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, man, that looks like, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four Galactus,
No more Cloud Galactus.
Like I said, I've never had a problem with Cloud Galactus per se. We now live in a place where we're not afraid to have a guy in a big purple toga or a big purple metal toga.
Yeah.
Just not the one with the green one with no underwear. That's the one we want to avoid.
What famous actor should play Galactus?
Well, I think they should try and get George Takei again, quite frankly. He was
Yeah,
well, he was fantastic as Galactus in Superhero Squad. For those who remember, he was our first real depiction of Galactus as Galactus.
What if you get someone else to do the body? But what if I know it's cliche for science fiction, but what if James Earl Jones does the voice?
Oh yeah, well you could. Honestly, I'm going to say I think George Takei has a better voice than James Earl Jones.
Oh, fight him, nerds!
You can fight me, man. But I will say that. The other thing I was thinking about that is, I believe it actually could be Galactus, because I believe Marvel still has the TV rights to the Fantastic Four.
Well,
so I think they would have still had.
Don't they?
I'm sorry, what?
You have all the rights to the Fantastic Four now.
Well, yeah, no. But when they were producing this, I think they might have said, you know what? Technically, we actually have the TV rights. We can put them in the TV show. I think I could be wrong, but I think they might have had the rights there. So,
and maybe
it's a possibility.
They might have knew the deal was, quote unquote, coming by the time they were producing this, so they were just like,
or they set it up in a way that it's sort of Galactus, but it doesn't have to be. In the same way that the Chronotons are sort of like the Watchers, but aren't quite the Watchers.
Yeah, and if the deal hadn't gone through, they're like, we can take it in a different direction.
Yeah. Well, they're just some other thing, because if we don't actually say it, we haven't used it.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I think that's one of the reasons that they actually have them give people like the almost quite the right names, like Will Simpson instead of what is it, Frank Simpson?
Yeah.
It just so that they can still use that other Simpson for Nuke if they want to do a different take on it, but they still have him there. So that's a possibility. And I think that's all of my crazy fan theories for this week. You got anything else you want to talk about, Phil? Yeah, I know you have some extra comic books we haven't gotten to.
Yeah, you didn't read Invaders #6 yet?
I have not read Invaders #6 yet, yes. But spoil it.
Namor, he was setting off bombs. He wasn't trying to kill people. He infected it. He did at least one town. He's turning them into Atlanteans.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So it's basically him trying to save the world by turning everyone into Atlanteans.
So we can breathe water. So when the sea level rises, no noise!
And again, it looks like he's driving another wedge between Cap and Iron Man, because Iron Man's like, I told you we needed to just like kill Nate,
Yeah, everyone just wants to try and kill him.
Yeah, but they took out Jim Hammond, the Human Torch, because where's this at? He's just like well, he's just like a head. He was still talking, but
and just took off his head.
Yeah, you see, it's just like.
Yeah, they'll put it back together again.
Yeah, I mean, he's still talking and stuff. The stuff is connected. But Namor's just making everyone fight each other, because look, next issue looks like an Iron Man versus Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's right. Fire the gun at the Iron Man. Bucky. That'll work just fine.
Maybe it's some armor-piercing rounds. You never know.
I suppose so.
Just shot in the back of the head, Charlie Esser. He could do anything.
With a blank, because it only fires blanks if someone else is. It's just it would be fine if that made any sense at all.
Oh, and I know you're going to be reading Spider-Man Life Story number 4.
Oh, well, we're in the 90s now, right?
Yep, and lots of auto.
Oh yeah, lots. Oh, you had mentioned that it's all auto all the time.
Yeah, look Old Man Auto.
Old Man Otto. Oh, so he's still Otto from the 60s, but now he's all dying of cancer.
Oh,
or something. Nice. He's lost a lot of weight, you can tell. So, Ooh, cool.
Oh, and then Tony Stark's trying to do Peter has like a Parker Industries like he had in the in the regular comics. Tony Stark's trying to do a hostile takeover.
Oh, Tony Stark's trying to. So Tony Stark is filling our Norman Osborn role.
Kinda, although we do see Norman in this at the end. Norman's like really old, but Mary Jane left Peter in the 80s because he wouldn't give up. It's too dangerous. He wouldn't give up being Spider-Man. Although he shows up at the end because he basically gives Ben Reilly everything in this issue, and then goes off to be with Mary Jane and the kids.
Oh, that's nice. So
well, it looks like it supposedly Otto does tests and reveals that Ben's the real Peter Parker. So Peter gives Ben the company and the Spider-Man costume and everything. But then, just like in the original 90s Clone Saga, it's revealed Norman rigged all the tests. But this time Peter doesn't tell Ben that he doesn't tell Ben, oh no, I'm the real Peter Parker. He just goes off to be with Mary Jane. So
that's good. So that's good. They're gonna do one in like the crazy aughts. What's Spider-Man doing in the aughts?
Yeah, there's 2 issues left. Yeah, it's in the aughts, and I guess I think they said it might be around like Civil War. So they're gonna do that Civil War.
Okay.
And then I saw the solicit for that last issue. It's it's in this this decade, and they're just like, is a 72-year-old Peter Parker gonna get out alive?
So here's the question: is Ben Reilly young again? So is it like the younger Peter Parker?
No,
that got popped out of the clone bat.
No,
he didn't age.
He's aging too, but like I said, Peter Parker had they had twins in the 80s. So by the time we get to the the 2010, both his kids are going to be adults. So I wonder both of them are going to take over.
Okay. Well, no, but I'm wondering, is Ben Reilly? So this is the original Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
So he's the same age as Peter.
Yeah, because he was created in the 70s or whatever. Yeah, because they.
Okay, yeah.
But the interesting thing to tie in the current events, guess while Peter and Mary Jane have been separated, guess who Peter's been dating?
Who?
Jessica Jones.
Oh. She is way too young for him. Or are they doing it with the idea that they were in high school together?
I wonder, because didn't Bendis do that eventually in his Avengers?
Yeah, Bendis did that. That they were. Yeah, well, when he did the story, that she was sort of like the Sentry. She was always there, just in the background. And then, as it turns out, she was had a big crush on Peter Parker.
Yeah, so unless they're doing it where he's dating a younger woman, I headcanon it. They did the whole Bendis thing where they were in school together.
Okay, well that makes sense then. That's not as creepy then.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool.
So, to lead credence to one of your theories, in Symbiote Spider-Man number 3. Mysterio blackmails the Black Cat into getting a piece of the symbiote, because Mysterio figured out the costume's alive, so he's like, I want to be, I don't know, I guess to weaponize it or something or do whatever. So I wonder if they're doing that, because I wonder if something's going to happen in the movie.
Oh, maybe. Well, like I said,
you were talking about, not an alien, but like a invented symbiote or something. So
yeah, well, you make a techno-organic suit, and it's gonna.
So is Mysterio going to have some kind of version of a symbiote in the movie? Is that why they're doing the comic?
Well, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they do try to make their own MCU Venom.
Yes.
To have it be this other kind that can do all the things the Venom can, but it's not the Venom in the other sets of movies. Although there's probably all kinds of conversations about that and what they're going to allow and disallow between Marvel and Sony on that.
So does Quentin Beck maybe invent it or in the movie or something? Is that why they're doing this, where he's Mysterio's messing with the symbiote?
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, this is a flashback series. It's like, back when Peter still had the symbiote, before Venom.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would assume that they're like, everyone always says, "Oh no, they don't tell us anything." I always think they tell them something.
Yeah.
They don't give them the details, but they might say, "Oh yeah, you might want to have something with the symbiote and Mysterio going on." Or it might have just come out organically that no, it's just that they thought of that, and maybe someone writing the movie thought of something similar, and
I mean,
that happens all the time too. That's how you get giant-sized man things and swamp things.
Phrasing. But I just wonder, could they invent some kind of like black creature or something and not name check it? They don't know about the rights, but then once the rights go through, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's the symbiote."
Yeah. Well, like I said, it'll be like I said. My big prediction, and I think I've mentioned this before, that there's going to be some kind of tragedy that happens in Far From Home. Flash Thompson is going to lose his legs, but it's going to make him very bitter at Spider-Man and Peter Parker in a way, or something like that. That he's like, so it's going to be like an evil Venom, but it's also going to be Flash Thompson. Just because I like Flash Thompson as the Venom. It gives a better arc for it. And I like the idea that maybe he is losing his legs as the result of something that Spider-Man did or did not do. So he blames Peter Parker for this tragedy that befell him, and then he gets the symbiote legs.
I mean, I know you like this, that the symbiote's going to be like a scientific creation. But what if that was like the Beyonder's first appearance, since he brings the symbiote to Earth?
Oh, wait, you know what? Oh, what if the Beyonder infects the AI?
Oh,
just like the Mind Stone going into Vision, they're using the same technology. Maybe
inject some alien something into it. Yeah.
Well, or just, oh, there's one for you. So how about this? So let's say we have our tech suits go wild and problems, and that becomes an issue that he has to fight. And then after he's defeated Mysterio and all that, and all this kind of, you get this, that little pinprick in the universe looking down, and then you just see the light shining on it, and it just sort of forms into a new shape. So the Beyonder is infecting the symbiote or the techno to create a form for himself.
Maybe
it's a possibility. It's a possibility if they go that route.
Look how much
we're going to have to see.
Look how much fertile ground you have, Marvel, if you just bring in the Beyonder.
The Beyonder is great. Honestly, the Beyonder is just about the best thing in the Marvel universe, and he's got to be out there. I'm so mad they never used my theory of the Beyonders, but they didn't also disprove it. My theory that there is just one Beyonder, but then once he comes into multiplicity, he starts splitting just like the rest of the universe. So,
well, was that Bendis or was it somebody else? Was it Hickman? Didn't someone say that like the Beyonder we know is just like a one of the like a young one as they come? It's a Beyonder.
Yeah, they said he's a juvenile Beyonder, but if the Beyonders exist beyond space and time, what does that mean to be juvenile except to be young?
Yeah.
And so if he's young, that could just mean he is the proto Beyonder. He's the first Beyonder. And then the older Beyonders, the other Beyonders that we've seen, are actually that Beyonder after he's been tossed back and forth in the time stream a few dozen times, like Kang. It's like to say it's a juvenile form of Kang doesn't mean it's a Kang baby. It means that'll be a fun Saturday morning cartoon, Kang babies. No, it means that it's a younger version of Nathaniel Richards who is coming into this storyline. So I think that, yes, it is a juvenile Beyonder, the Beyonder we know, but that doesn't mean he's actually like not the Beyonder. It just means that he's the first version of him, because since he can travel through time, it doesn't matter where older Beyonders show up, because they're like cute. They just the time stream, it's just something they move along.
Oh, cool. Get Molecule Man eventually, maybe.
Oh yeah, well that one we definitely need to have our Fantastic Four rights secured. So and that's the only reason why I think that they might not have the Beyonder in Far From Home.
Yeah,
but I think the idea of the pinpricks in the universe does lend itself to that. So if there is some kind of acknowledgement that this is a real thing, these pinpricks in the universe, then that is a way to open it up. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I just wonder if they were almost sure the deal was going through, but they weren't entirely sure, so they can just throw something in the later on. They could,
Yeah.
and it's not to be on there, but it's like, oh, if the deal goes through, this is under.
Well, it's not that they couldn't use the Beyonder. The Beyonder they could always use, but I think the Molecule Man would have fallen under the other properties. So you could use the Beyonder, but you couldn't tie him to the Molecule Man.
Yeah.
But I think that so much of the mythos of the Beyonder is tied to the Molecule Man. Thank you, Jim Shooter. I think that makes those two characters kind of bound together. You know, there's so much going on, and like I said, it's very interesting what we got over there in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. So I'm excited to see where the rest of the MCU is going.
Oh yeah,
it's exciting. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about this week, Phil? Or we got enough?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I think that's a nice tight 30 minutes. Exactly what you want in this kind of a podcast. Philip, in the meantime, if people would like to find you, how can they do so?
I can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm at nightwingpdp. And you can always get a hold of us, the Capes and Lunatics. We're on Facebook, on Twitter. Oh, follow Super Connectivity. Also, Facebook and Twitter pages.
Yes, and of course, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email, where our Moz and Paws and even Jim Shooter once did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitters. I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but my phone is not a power, and other shows that are on that I can live tweet. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIE. ESSER, with the two E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for connecting with us here on Super Connectivity. Please super connect with us again next week. Good night.
Good night.
Actually, you know what? When Marvel does decide to do the Fantastic Four and X-Men, they should bring it in actually as Fantastic Four versus X-Men.
Oh,
just have it be this whole, setup of, and just do that whole storyline of, Kitty Pryde, she's fading away. We have to get Reed Richards. Reed Richards won't do it because he's afraid. And then Doom, it's all manipulations by Doom. Mwah. He's so evil.